Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, you're at the right spot. It's time for a whiskey review. My name's Connor. If you're watching on YouTube, this is Who Gives a Dram. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an episode. Weekly whiskey reviews is what I do. And the best part is, half the time I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's okay. I feel like most people like that. If you want to check out this full episode, this is a podcast. This is just a part of a podcast. If you want to check out the full podcast, you have to listen to it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you listen to podcasts is where you can listen to it. We talked a little bit of whiskey beforehand, but we talked some UFC predictions for the fight card this weekend. So if that's something you're into, go check out Who Gives a Dram on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. While you're over there, leave a rating and review. It'd be very nice. Got an interesting whiskey this week. And it's interesting because someone who you might know in the whiskey community, his name's Fred Minnick. He tasted this Jack Daniel's Triple Mash on his show or his review show or whatever on YouTube, and it blew him away. This is a new release from Jack Daniel's. I'll show the bottle on the camera there. It's a new release from Jack Daniel's, right? Came out this year. It's bottled and bond. It's a blend of 3 bonded whiskeys: American malt, rye, and Tennessee. Now, first glimpse, doesn't seem like it's going to be up my alley. I've already tried some of this a few weeks ago, and I don't remember liking it at all, if I'm being honest. But I'm willing to give it a shot. And now there's a bunch of hype behind it saying, oh no, it's going to get allocated because Fred Minnick said it's really good. We'll see if that's true or not. He did say that Henry McKenna was really good. He did say that Barrel Seagrass was really good just last year. And all of a sudden, it's not allocated, but it was talked about. A lot of people were buying it. Also, shout out to Bradshaw Bourbon wearing their hat. Good friends of the podcast, good friends of Paul and I over at Bourbon with Friends. Got some cool stuff on the horizon with them. But let's get right into the whiskey this week. So like I said, this is the newest release from Jack Daniel's. It just came out this year, not sure when. It's 100 proof. It is bottled and bond. It's a blend of 3 different bonded whiskeys, and it's also bottled and bond, obviously. 50% alcohol by volume. It doesn't have an age statement on here. I didn't see an age statement anywhere when I tried Googling it, just to get some type of indication. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. MSRP on this, you're looking at like $40 to $50, maybe a little bit more. What's kind of bullshit about this is 700 mils. Not sure how I feel about that for $50. I mean, you're not getting that much less whiskey, but it's the principle. Now, it could be because they weren't sure how it's going to sell, but it's Jack Daniel's. They're not lacking money. So, I wasn't sure what to think about this when it came out. Jack Daniel's is Jack Daniel's. Everyone has a memory of Jack Daniel's in some capacity, or at least you kind of know what it is. Old Number 7 is classic, one of the most iconic brands in the spirits industry, in the beverage industry, honestly. And then there's the disciples. There's Gentleman Jack. There's Single Barrel. There's Single Barrel Barrel Proof. There's Honey. There's Fire. There's not technically whiskey, but there's Gold. There's the Sinatra Select. There's a lot of different Jack Daniels. And these are just 2 more that are being added, I'm pretty sure, to the usual lineup. And they received a lot of love when they came out. I haven't seen anyone who doesn't really like the bonded that came out. This, on the other hand, I haven't seen that many people disagree with Fred on. They say it's really good. I just don't remember it being really good. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to determine if this is a good whiskey or not. Gonna give it a rating. And see what we think. Let's pour some into the glass. Cork pop. Not bad. Real cork. Shout out to Jack Daniels. You would expect them using a synthetic cork. Little pori poo in there. Before we start, you guys, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Who Gives a Dram on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok as well. If you want to follow me there, I got merch available, and you can also find me at Bourbon with Friends every week, twice a week. We're BWF Podcasts on Instagram, Bourbon with Friends on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, every podcast platform. You can find me there. Plenty of ways to hear me talk if you like to hear my voice. With that being said, I kind of just want to get into it. I'm kind of nervous. I feel like I should like this, but I don't think I'm gonna. Okay, so the nose actually is not that bad at all, actually. It's actually quite nice. A little faint. I get some fruits. I get some honey. I actually get a lot of honey. I get some grape on there. A little bit of really, really intense vanilla extract, but it's masked over by honey. Honey is the dominant note here. I do get a little bit of like barrel, wood, oak. Not an overwhelming amount, but it's there. Slightest bit of ethanol. Nothing bad though. I can stick my whole nose in here and not quiver. So that's always a good sign, I think. Yeah, I get a lot of light fruit. I get that grape, that nice grape note on there. Um, Honey is out the wazoo. Like honey's really prominent on this nose. A nice barrel, um, kind of oakiness on there. Tad bit of ethanol. I get a little bit of, yeah, the honey's there. A lot of honey. I actually like this nose a lot. It's in terms of a nose, you wouldn't really be able to tell it's 100 proof, to be honest. Very good, very good. Yeah, it's a great nose. It's a great nose. I'm surprised I'm saying that. I thought I was gonna hate on this whiskey, but let's get a little taste in here, and see what we think. See what we think about Jack Daniel's Triple Mash. So cheers, everyone watching. Thank you for tuning in, and let's see how it is. It is better than I remember it. Maybe I had just eaten last time, or maybe it was hot that day. I don't know, but this is actually quite refreshing. A little bit of spice on there, almost like a barrel spice. Nothing too prominent, not really baking spices. A little bit of cinnamon, maybe. The honey translates nice to the palate. Um, it's a very, very light, sweet whiskey. The more I swirl around, the more fruit I get on the nose. Not citrus like grape. Maybe a little bit of orange, so yeah, citrus. Not apples though. A little bit of maybe. I mean, it is a bonded malt whiskey, so maybe a little bit of apple, and I'm just not putting the correct words to it. But like I get grape, orange, honey, like a fruit bowl with honey on it, and you would eat it out of like a fresh oak bowl. It smells like a honey fruit parfait with vanilla ice cream with a bunch of honey drizzled over it in an oak bowl. So just imagine, most people are going to think that's a pretty nice smell, and it is. Little barrel spice on the back. Almost a little mapley. The fruit kind of goes away on the palate, but the honey stays. Kind of bitter. Not much of a Kentucky hug, but enough to know you're drinking whiskey. This actually isn't as bad as I remember it being. I was a hater to begin, but this is actually quite good. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually quite good. I'm struggling to put my tongue on what I'm actually finding on it. Honey, barrel spice, oak. It's actually quite a bit of things going on the palate here. Interesting. It's definitely unique. I'll give it that. I don't know how many whiskeys I've had that taste quite like this, where you're getting the notes of bourbon, right? It says Tennessee whiskey. It's bourbon. You get the barrel spice. You get the oak. The vanilla is there throughout. Honey there throughout. But then you get that malt in there, which is really throwing me through a loop because it does come with like the grain, but also like the light fruit that I always get from malt. Green apple, orange, like not banana. Really, there's not really banana in here, but I get maple from malt a lot of the time. So I get that in here as well, along with the typical bourbon notes, and then I don't get a whole lot of rye spice. It's more barrel forward, I think. It just tastes like more like oak than an actual baking spice or a rye spice. But man, I'm actually quite impressed with it. Ooh, maple a lot on that last sip. Shit, I think I like this a lot. Fuck. That's okay. I have nothing against Jack Daniels. I love Jack Daniels. And I love single barrel proof. I love the single barrel selects. I think Jack Daniels is great, to be honest. I like the bonded. We did it a few weeks ago on the podcast. On YouTube, available probably 4 videos ago. This is way different, and I actually think I like this better. Man. I feel like I was wrong. I feel like I'm wrong, but I'm just being honest. This is very good. Better than the bonded. I don't know if it beats out the single barrel proofs. It's definitely the most unique Jack Daniels offering I've ever had. It almost gives you more honey flavor than a Jack Daniels honey does. It gives you a better honey flavor than the Jack Daniels honey does, I should say. It gives you a much better honey flavor, a much more authentic honey flavor than Jack Daniels honey. It's fairly, you can find this in a lot of spots. Again, between $40 and $50, really. It's 700 mils. I've seen the Jack Daniels bonded in. Jack Daniels 10 year as well. That's another offering. We really liked that. I did review that on the podcast too. That was last year's release, but nevertheless, I've seen the Jack Daniels bonded that was released this year available in handles. Haven't seen this in handles. I've only seen this in 700 milliliters. Again, 700 milliliters, not 750 milliliters. But, I think I think I'm going to give this a good score. Let me take one more sip. Yeah, this is pretty good. It's not directly up my alley, but it's super unique, and I really appreciate that. I'm going to give this an 8.6. 8.6 out of 10. I will definitely go out and buy my own bottle. This is admittedly my brother's bottle, not mine. But what's my brother's is mine because we're family and we love each other. I think this is unique. I think it's going to be pretty readily available. I think it's an all right price point. And I think that if you drink whiskey a lot like I do, you'll appreciate what this brings. 8.6 is a bottle that I will go out of my way to buy this. I just bought 2 bottles today. I bought a bottle of Weller 12, and I bought a bottle of Colonel E.H. Taylor single barrel, a backup to my first one. So I won't buy this like this week or next week, but I will buy this soon and have it on my shelf. So that's what it is. 8.6 out of 10. You can stamp that. And that's going to do it for the podcast, for the YouTube. I really, really appreciate you guys joining me. Not just this week, but every week. Means a lot. I love doing these whiskey reviews. I'm learning a lot. A lot of cool stuff on the way. You can follow my whiskey journey. Who Gives the Dram on all socials. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Bourbon with Friends, all socials. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Follow my whiskey journey there as I talk with a lot of cool people in the industry, along with weekly whiskey reviews, talking with celebrities, with brands, a lot of cool content that is both, between Who Gives a Dram and Bourbon with Friends. So I would appreciate you guys if you went on to Instagram, gave me a follow, Who Gives a Dram there, Bourbon with Friends, BWF Podcast, gave me a follow over there as well. And let me into your whiskey life. Listen to my reviews. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about Jack Daniel's Triple Mash. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. I appreciate all the love that people reach out to me with. If you want some merch, buy it in my Instagram bio. I'm not going to plug anything else because I will just continue to go on and on. Have a very, 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 very happy 4th of July this weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Drink whiskey. I'm going to drink a lot of whiskey. I'm going to drink a lot of beer. And I'm going to watch some flippin' awesome UFC fights. Monday off. Enjoy the day off if you are lucky enough to have it off. Hopefully good weather. Fingers crossed. But, I'm proud to be an American. I always will be. And I will always celebrate America. So I'm all down for celebrating 4th of July. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully this helps you get through the end of the week. Drink some good whiskey. Think about Cousin Connor over here. And always remember, whiskey's the water of life. So let's start living.